Well, hello friends, Coach Bob with you today, and we are here today with yet another Worship on Wheels. Can you believe it? Man, I tell you, the weeks just go by so fast. You know, life has been crazy, chaotic, busy, beautiful, good, all that stuff. But I'm going to tell you, there's a lot going on between swim, my mother's estate, Coach Vic and I planning for our little trip this weekend. Hopefully going to get over to Daytona for Trike Fest and that sort of stuff. It's going to be a very short, quick turnaround trip. Maybe leave on a Saturday, come back on a Sunday, one of those kind of things. But anyway, if you would do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff, and let's get started on what we're talking about today. I think you're going to find it very interesting. I had a young man on the team this week. We were talking about preparation for swimming and life and studies and all of that thing, and he threw a Bible verse up in my face. He goes, "Coach, do I really have to prepare? The Bible tells me not to worry about the things of tomorrow, only worry about the things of today. Don't worry about the past, don't worry about the future, only take care of today." And I told him, I said, "Man, you're absolutely right. But it doesn't say not to prepare. It says don't worry about it." You know, and the reason is because if you're prepared, there is no need to worry. Now, I understand that there are things that are going to happen in our lives where, you know, you're just all of a sudden, you're stressed out to the max about something. That's absolutely normal. It happens to all of us. And I'm going to tell you right now, I got this thing growing on my head. Looks like an antler on the left side of my head. If you would pray for me, I'm going to be having that cut off a week from Friday. It's always something on me. I tell you, the skin is just, you know, it's like cutting stuff off of an old leather shoe. I've taken care of it as good as I can. And that's just the way it is. It's kind of the cost of doing business, y'all. We ain't getting out of this thing alive. But let's talk about preparedness and what the Bible says about it. You know, in Matthew chapter 24, verses 42 through 44, it says, "So you too must keep watch, for you don't know what day the Lord is coming. Understand this, if a homeowner knew exactly when a burglar was coming, he would keep watch and not permit his house to be broken into. You also must be ready all the time, for the Son of Man will come when least expected." In other words, he tells us to be ready all the time, to be prepared all of the time. So what does that look like? What does being prepared look like? I mean, yeah, it's easy to say be prepared, you know, the old scout motto and all that stuff. But what does it mean? Well, you know, there are three types of readiness. There's the spiritual readiness, there's the mental, emotional readiness, and there's the physical readiness. And you know, you've heard me talk about these things on multiple Worship on Wheels. You've heard these concepts come up in our touring videos. But let's talk about it a little bit and unwrap it somewhat. You know, spiritually, we do need to be prepared. We need to be ready. It says that we're not promised a tomorrow. We need to be ready to step off into eternity. And so we need to prepare ourselves for that. We need to make sure that we have our hearts right with Christ. We need to be ready to go meet God, because guess what? One day we are. Because the death rate's 1 for 1, and we're all going to make it. Now, for those who don't want to believe that, that's okay. I can't change your mind. And you know what? That'll be between you and God when you get there. Now, the emotional preparedness, the mental preparedness. How do we do that? Well, I can tell you, reading deep intellectual things is one way to do it. You know, here recently I've started reading some Stoicism. I've actually read it for years, on and off, but I've really got a fire burning inside of me about these books right now. Marcus Aurelius and Seneca. Those types of ancient writings, which are absolutely wonderful. And there's a young man that I listen to his podcast named Ryan Holiday. He really is quite wonderful, quite talented, very, very well read. His mind is quite prepared. I will say way more prepared than mine. And I consider myself a pretty reading ready kind of guy. Now, I probably am hindered a little bit because, as you know, I am just a dumb old country boy from South Georgia, but that's okay. I can take the mind that I've been given and I can stretch it and make it grow. And that is exactly what I do. And you need to do these things daily. And then there's the old body, the old machine. You know, I used to be able to do a lot of things that I can't do anymore. I could run a long way and ride a long way and swim a long way, and I could do it pretty darn fast in the process. And those things don't happen as well anymore. It's just one of those things. And over the last 2 years, due to my poor preparation, I have put on weight. And the person that you see sitting in front of you is, I'm not ashamed. I'm not angry or upset about it. I just understand where I am and my expectation of what I am to be. The pursuance of excellence. God has called us to nothing short of excellence. Every endeavor that we walk upon, we should always chase greatness, always chase excellence, not for arrogance, but for the wonderment of knowing that we were created in the image of an all-knowing God and that we are to honor Him in the process. And if we're just going to be mediocre, you're not doing a very good job. I'm not doing a very good job when I just do a mediocre way. You know, I had a saying that I wrote years ago. It says, mediocrity is the acceptable standard for those unwilling to work. Now, let's get to work. So that's where it is. So every day, you know, another thing Ryan Holiday, and it was either a reading or something on a podcast he was talking about, he said, imagine in your mind the perfect day. Now, the perfect day, a lot of us would think, oh, I think I'll go to the beach, I'll do this or I'll do that. But we're not talking about something that infantile, that immature. We're talking about the perfect day. If you were to ask me what my perfect day would be, it would be get up at 5:45 well rested. It would be do a nice, deep, intellectual, spiritual reading while drinking a nice warm cup of coffee, and then go for a 10-mile run. And that would be the perfect way to start the perfect day. I can't do that anymore. I can do the first part, but the 10-mile run, due to my age and due to, we'll just say, heart anomalies, I am unable to just go out and just peel off 10 miles. I just can't do it. So I've had to redefine what preparation is now, knowing that my time is shorter here and my preparation has to look different. It just has to. Because now, the thing that is starting to fail me, the old body, that's not going to get better. That's only going to get worse. And that doesn't scare me. That's just the very nature of it. So I want to tell you that everything you do, you need to prepare yourself. You know, Seneca and Marcus Aurelius both talked about preparing for poverty. They even talked about living in poverty so that you would be prepared for it, so that you're not shocked when bad things happen, because bad things do happen to good people. They happen to you and they happen to me. I've talked about that on another episode where the Bible says, the sun shines on the wicked and the good. It just does. That's how it is. All right. Well, I want you to go out and work on developing your soul, developing your mind, developing your body, and being prepared, because we have no reason to panic. All right. Well, there's another Worship on Wheels in the books. Know this, my friend. You are most definitely loved, and so am I, and that is great news. Now, go change the world, and I will see you on the road real soon.